thank you so much for joining me again. Today we're going to focus on relieving any lower back tension. So you don't need any equipment, but you will need to move your yoga mat next to a wall as we're going to be placing our legs up against the wall. So get yourself set up and I'll meet you on the mat. So today we're going to be having our legs up against the wall and lying on our backs. So I'll show you a kind of graceful way to do this, but there isn't really any very graceful way. You want to start by sitting side facing the wall, as close to the wall as you can. So this is my wall today, this fence. Really press yourself up against the wall as tightly as you can. Come down onto your forearms and then just start to turn your body as you bend the knees in towards the chest and just shuffle yourself around so that you end up with your bum as close to the wall as you can. And if you need to shuffle that around and scoot yourself a bit closer, just do whatever you need to do to really try to make that contact with the wall with the back of the hips. So now that you're lying here, you're against the wall, reach those legs up high overhead and have a little bit of a space, roughly hip distance between the feet, and just allow them to rest on the wall. Now, there's a few options of what you can do with your hands. Perhaps you want to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest so you can really connect with your breath. Or you might want to just leave the hands next to your body, palms facing upwards. And this way you can really allow the shoulders to relax and feel the temperature of the air with your palms. Or if you're feeling a little bit spicy today, a little bit more flexible, then you might want to bring your arms overhead, in which case bring the hands to a prayer position and just slowly keep those elbows together as you bring the hands overhead, sliding them down the mat and eventually opening the palms out wide, keeping a nice bend in the arms as they rest on the ground behind you. Whatever feels good for you today in your practice, you can always switch it up next time. And if you find that keeping the arms overhead gets a little bit uncomfortable, you can always just do that exact same motion in reverse by palms together, elbows together, and draw the arms back into the chest to come back down nice and safely. I'm going to keep my arms next to me just to make it a little easier to illustrate things to you today, but you can just keep your arms wherever feels good for you. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here, so I just encourage you to close the eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose, fill up the belly, the chest. And as you exhale, imagine your lower back, your middle back, all of your back is widening beneath you, and you're sinking deeper into the mat. A couple more breaths here. Deep breath in and out. So you might have noticed that on almost every video I have you do at least 3 or 4 deep breaths. And this isn't just to fill up the space in time. This is because I want you to really feel how it feels to kind of get some deep, complete, effective breaths into the body, as we usually take very short and shallow breaths just due to our lifestyle choices, and it's really, really good for the body to kind of remind ourselves how it feels to take these deep, deep belly breaths. And just starting to notice how it feels to kind of have this half upside down position, this semi-inversion as we call it in yoga. Switching up the flow of the blood, allowing the feet to rise up and have a little bit of a rest. Staying here for a couple more breaths, really press that lower back down. And like I said, this is a wonderful, wonderful way to kind of relieve any lower back tension buildup that happens all the time, especially from sitting at desks or driving or anything that kind of places a lot of pressure on the lower part of the spine, a lot of compression. And exercises like this are really safe and really effective. Okay, let's start to bring in a little bit of movement now. opening the eyes, glancing down at your legs. Just double check that the feet haven't begun to open outwards. So we're trying to keep them nice and straight. And just take the right foot and slide it down the wall, bending the right knee. And when the foot gets in line with the left knee, we're going to place the right ankle across the left leg, just below the left knee. So we're at the very bottom of the left thigh. And we're going to use our right hip to send that right knee away from the body. Now you might be here and already be like, oh my gosh, this is really tight in the hips, which is very normal. I'm already feeling a little bit tight here. Keep that right foot flexed and keep sending that right knee away from the body. Now you're going to notice that your hips are going to want to start to rotate beneath you. Most likely the left hip is starting to lift up and away, the right hip is pressing down because of the action with the knee. So we're going to correct that and really center that left hip down into the ground as the right hip starts to push away. Staying here for a few deep breaths. Remember, always breathing in and out of the belly. And using those exhales to find a little bit more comfort. So as I said, if you're quite tight today, this might already be enough. So stay here, keep your deep breathing, keep pressing that right knee away. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, then just start to activate that left leg, bringing that left foot to the wall and bending the left knee. And you're going to very quickly start to notice this, the right hip getting tighter and tighter very quickly. So you might only be able to think about bending the left knee. Or you might be able to bend it quite far, but whatever you're doing, just keep both hips grounded down evenly. Making an effort to send that right knee away and occasionally flexing that right foot just to kind of reactivate the calf, reactivate all of the little muscles inside the leg. With every inhale, keep lengthening the spine, flattening yourself into the mat. And with every exhale, sending that right knee away, both hips pressing down, maybe even bending that left knee just a fraction more. And this is a really wonderful pose to stay in for about 2 to 3 minutes if you have the time. The longer you stay in it, the more time you're going to give the muscles to open and relax and let go of the tension. I like this one a lot because what immediately starts to feel a little uncomfortable often fades away with the deep breathing. And you notice these kind of sensations waving through the hips in different parts at different times, depending on the breath. So keep that nice long breath going. And once again, closing your eyes in these long held positions really helps you to connect with the body. So feel free to close your eyes at any time. I'm going to stay here for one more deep breath. And exhale, trying to relax those shoulders down into the mat. And start to slide that left leg up, back high again, relieving the pressure from that right hip. And then you can either use your right leg just to lift itself off of the left, or you might find that if you're feeling a little bit stiff after those exercises, then bring the hands forward, either in that safe way that we discussed, keeping those elbows close to the body, or just raising the arms up to assist the right leg off of the left leg. Place that sole of the foot to the ground and slide it back up again. Maybe flex and point that right foot just to reset the leg. Now let's do the same on the other side. We're going to bend that left knee, drag the left foot down the wall until it's in line with that right knee, and then take it across the body. Left ankle sits just below that right knee. Flex the left foot and start to press the left knee away from the body, just using the strength of the legs. And if you had your arms overhead on the last stretch and you want to come back to it on this one, then just come back into it with those prayer hands leading up overhead. Elbows opening and widening, pancaking the body to the ground. And we're going to keep sending that left foot up to the sky, sending that left knee away from the body, occasionally flexing that left foot. And just feel the left hip starting to open. Be sure that both sides of the tailbone and the hips are pressing down evenly. Don't be tempted to lift that right hip up. And this may be enough for you today, so just stay here. Keep your nice deep breath going. Remember, every exhale, send the breath down to the hips and see if you can open it a tiny bit more. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, start to activate that right leg, bending the right knee, drawing the left leg in towards the body. Be sure to keep sending that left knee away from you. Slowly, slowly, slowly bending that right leg just till you reach that point where you start to feel the tailbone starting to lift. So stop when you get there and start to come back to your long, deep breath. This is a fantastic one also for all of the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the glutes. Everything is getting a really nice deep stretch. Our shoulders and our hips are where we hold so much tension, stress, and anxiety. So opening them up every day is going to just do wonders for your mental health, do wonders for your sleep. Big breath in. Feel all of the back muscles pressing into the ground and just really focus on that lower back area. Every inhale creates a little bit more space down there to move. Flexing the left foot occasionally, just letting the left calf know that you're still there. And then one more breath here. And exhale, start to slide the right foot back up the wall, extend that right leg long. And then either just using the left leg to lift off of the right and extend, or if you're a little bit stiff in the hips, which a lot of us are, then just slide those arms back down if they are overhead, and just place one hand on the foot, one hand on the knee, and assist the leg as you bring it back up to meet the right leg, reaching long up against the wall. And just do a quick point and flex of that left foot, and just do a nice reset. And the last one here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So now the heels and the toes all line up, turning the knees away so that the soles are flush to each other. And we're going to slide the outer edges, the pinky toe edges of the feet along the wall as the knees go out wide. And we're not drawing the knees in towards the body, we're sending them away. So keep sending the knees away from the body towards the wall as the feet slide down the wall. And just allowing them to come down just as far as feels good for you today. They don't need to come all the way into the groin, just as far until you feel that stretch, that release all on the inside of the hips and the thighs. And just take a big breath in. And exhale, allow the feet to come down, maybe just a millimeter more. 3 more deep breaths like this. Inhale, send that lower back down into the ground, reaching up through the spine, elongate the neck. And exhale, draw the feet in a bit more. Always using that breath. Whenever we reach the edge of our comfort zone, we pause. And we take a few deep breaths and we keep that nice, long, controlled exhale going. And usually you'll probably find that the more you do this, the more long exhales you take as you feel a bit uncomfortable in your stretch, that this discomfort just starts to melt away. And then just when you feel like pretty supported, pretty stable again, then you just take that stretch a tiny bit more. And that's how we slowly build up our flexibility over time. But it's all about listening to the body and not taking it too far too quickly. One more deep breath in here. And take the hands to the outside of the knees. Draw the knees in together and pull them in towards the belly, sliding the feet all the way down the wall now. Maybe wrapping the arms around the knees and just press those shoulder blades back into the earth as you also press the hips, the tailbone down. Feel that compression in the hip joints. Head and neck is relaxed, resting on the ground. Taking another big breath in here. And exhale. Release one of the arms, whichever is more convenient for you to roll onto your side. I'm going to roll onto my right side, so my right arm is reaching out long behind me. I'm going to place my left hand down on the ground next to me just to give me a little bit more support. And I'm going to hug the knees into the chest as I roll onto the right side of my body, keeping the knees nice and bent so I can come onto my side. Bring the upper arm over to the front of the body, push the ground away using that upper arm, slide the other arm back as we slowly bring ourselves back up to our knees, crawling our way back onto our mat. And we're going to sit in a cross-legged position just to close our practice off here and see how this feels. Notice if you feel a little bit more open, a little bit more relaxed in the hips and the lower back. Take the hands down over the knees, take a big breath in, lift the chest, and exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. One more deep breath in. Hands come to the chest, prayer position, and exhale, bow the head down. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed practicing with me, please be sure to hit the subscribe button below so that you can see the future videos as soon as they're posted. Thank you for your support. See you soon.